So guys, today back from a video on the channel. Today we're here for my player ratings between Newcastle United and West Ham. What a massive, really important win that was, and it was absolutely critical that we did win, and them £3 are absolutely massive. If you didn't watch the reaction or rant or whatever you want to call it, I put it at the top, link in the description or on the end screen. Such an important win, and there was some good performances out there, so we'll go into the player ratings now. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel, and let's kick off. We're starting off with Martin Dubravka. Martin today, I think he made some really good saves in the first half, and even in the second half he had to make some really big saves. The first goal, I mean, he could have done a little bit better with it. I mean, a stronger hand, he could have got at that. The penalty, absolutely no chance. But I think overall it was a good performance by Martin Dubravka. He did keep us in the game. He made some really good saves, and absolutely fair play to him because he done what he needed to do, and we did get the win, and that's all that matters at the minute. Martin Dubravka, 7 out of 10. We'll do the three centre-backs, and we'll go on to the wing-backs, but we'll do the three centre-backs, starting off with the one on the right, which was Federico Fernandez, and yet again, solid performance today. He kept Jarrod Bowen really quiet in that first half, and he was exceptional against Burnley last week, and Steve Bruce praised him on that, and he was really good again, yet again today. Really showed his quality and his experience, and that's what you need in the Premier League sometimes. You might have all these players up and coming, like Joe Willock, he's a fantastic player, up and coming, but sometimes you need them experienced players in your team, and Federico Fernandez is definitely one of them, and he had a really good game yet again today. I think a 7 out of 10 for Feddy is a fair rating. Kieran Clark now, we've got to obviously speak about that penalty decision. I don't think it was a pen. I think it's very, very soft, but you can understand how his arm is up there, but his head was bleeding, which isn't good, so hopefully he's going to be okay, and he should be fine. But I think his performance today, like, he kept everyone quiet. Like Lingard in the first half didn't do anything. For me, Kieran Clark gets a solid 7 out of 10 as well. Paul Dummett now, the next centre-back and the final centre-back of the team. He is solid yet again. He covered well for Richie when he went up the pitch, and a really solid performance. And you know what, for me, I forgot Paul Dummett was even playing, which was good for a centre-back. I think in the second half, I think he just kept everyone alive, and that's what he normally does, Paul Dummett, and you know what you're going to get from Paul Dummett, and he's been great recently, and these three centre-backs are working at the minute, so for me we've got to keep that. But for me, Paul Dummett, I can't give him a 7, you know what, Paul Dummett, 8 out of 10. Right wing back now, Jacob Murphy, just before we scored with Joe Willock, he nearly scored. It was off the line by Issa Dup. Really good block by him, and I think Murphy yet again, he spoke before the game, and he's really enjoying his football at the minute and getting minutes in for Newcastle rather than getting sent out on loan and playing for different teams and not playing much for Newcastle. He's getting game time, and he's making that right wing spot his, and he's making it hard for like the likes of Harvey Mankiw and Emil Kraft come back into the team. So fair play to Jacob Murphy. I don't think he's got an assist today, I don't think. But for me, he was decent. Yet again, showed his quality on the pitch, and really showed Steve Bruce yet again why he should play in. I think a 7 out of 10 is fair for Jacob Murphy. Matt Ritchie now, and I've slated him so many times recently. Well, not recently, previous games and whatnot, and this season and last season. But recently he's been exceptional. He really has been. Spurs, Burnley, and then now today, 2 assists for him. He assisted Joe Willock's goal, and he assisted Joe Linton's goal, and he was involved in the Spurs game. He's getting involved, and it's good to see, and it really is. He's getting in there, and he's bringing that passion as everyone takes the piss on Twitter. For me, Matt Ritchie, easy to get him on rating. That's a 9 out of 10 for me. He was exceptional today. Midfield now, we'll start off with the captain, Jonjo Shelvey, and I didn't think he was bad. I've been very critical of him this season. I don't think he's been great this season whatsoever, and I'm almost certain people will agree or disagree. But for me, he hasn't been good enough this season, and yet again today, I think if Joe Willock playing, it could have been a different game. But can't criticise Shelvey. He wasn't the reason why we conceded 2 goals or we fell back into the game. He did get a yellow card in the first half for a very silly challenge, but for Jonjo Shelvey, I think it could be time for getting dropped and maybe make Dubravka or Fernandez captain for me, but we know fine well that that's not going to happen. But for me, Joe Willock needs to be playing, and for me, I think he would work better with Sean Longstaff, and we'll get on him in a second. But for me, Jonjo Shelvey, 6 out of 10. Sean Longstaff now, I didn't think he really done much in the game, which is good but bad. Defensively, he was sound, put tackles in, flying all over the pitch, and it was just a standard performance from Sean Longstaff. He didn't really do anything to stand out in the game, but he didn't really put a foot wrong in my opinion. So I think Sean Longstaff will get a solid 6 out of 10. Miggy now, I think Miggy, that was one of his best games recently. He really performed and really ran and we say that every week, but he was getting shots on goal today, had a couple of shots and causing problems. For when Jacob Murphy had his chance off the line, he mistimed the ball, but it worked to perfection. For me, Miggy, we need to keep him because we can't afford to just let him go if we get relegated or stay up or whatever. He's too good of a player, and yes, he might not score every week and he might not get an assist every week, but we all know he's going to give you a 10 out of 10 in effort every week, and that's what you need, and that's what we need. Every team needs that, and every player should be doing that. But when you've got someone who'll just non-stop running, it's brilliant. And it's for me, you start Miggy over Willock in that position, but for me, Willock needs to be playing over Sean or Shelvey. He said in an interview that he would rather play number 8, and obviously he's known to be a cam, and that's where Miggy's playing at the minute. But I think overall he was causing problems for the West Ham defence, and they couldn't really handle him in the first half, and in the first 25 minutes I think he was probably our best player with Maxi. But for me, Miggy, I'm here on, I think a solid 7 out of 10. I'll add SAINT-MAXIMIN now, yet again, another goal contribution for him today. So look, that wasn't given as his goal, it was an own goal for the first goal, but yeah, again, he was brilliant. And I've just seen, just before I start recording, he's got a strain in his ankle, apparently, to Steve Bruce, so hopefully he should be fine, his words were. So I think he'll recover fine. The thing is about Maxi, he'll play, and he'll play to his ability, but teams can't handle him, so they just snap him. Happened last time we played West Ham, and it happened last week. People just try to bring him down and snap him and get him off the pitch because he's too good. He's too good, and when he gets to that stage where he's even better than that, where people just can't handle getting injured, because he can do that, but people are just deliberately getting yellow cards to stop him because we all know he's that good. But for the goal, took it really well. Mark Noble couldn't do anything, and it was a good little finish. It was right on target and a good finish from Maxi. I think an 8 out of 10 for Maxi today. And finally, for the start 11, we've got Goat Linton. He got a goal today, and it's really good to see. He put us 2-0 up, and fair play to him because he's proven that he has wrong in his last 2 home games, 2 goals. And they might not be the best goals, they might not have been spectacular goals, right? But on the score sheet it says Joe Linton scored, and that's all that matters at the minute. It doesn't matter if he's not scoring 40-yard screamers, solo goals or whatever. As long as he's putting the ball in the back of the net, it's only going to help his confidence. And yet again today, I thought he performed well, and he's doing his best for the football club to try and keep Callum Wilson at this team, because for me, you can't really start Callum Wilson next week. I think it's so unfair if you do drop Joe Linton, because it's not fair on him just because Callum Wilson's our best striker at the club. Do you really have to drop Joe Linton? For me, no, because he scored today, done very well, and I think Joe Linton needs to get some more credit, in my opinion. I think a good 8 out of 10 for Joe Linton today. Right then, substitute Callum Wilson was the first one, and he didn't really do much yet again. Like Burnley last week, he didn't come on and really change the game or get a massive chance on goal and do something like that, but it's obviously great to see him back because we all know he'll get maybe a couple more goals before the end of the season, and he's obviously a quality player. With him, he's good to see him back and back on the pitch today. I can't really give him a rating because I don't normally do him, I just speak about the players, but I thought Wilson was fine today. Next substitute, Joe Willock. Whoa, what a goal. What a goal. His second touch in the game, getting Newcastle United 3 points and a massive chance for survival. What a goal and what a header, and you don't normally see that from a young lad, have that determination to get into the box and score that header, because some players might have just stayed on the edge of the box or just left him, but he's getting in that box and it shows that he cares. And it's just a little thing like that where people don't normally look into, but obviously I've seen it and I'm going to say it on the video. He wants to play for Newcastle United. He wants to play next season for Newcastle United. You can see it. You can, with the Instagram post, with the Instagram captions, you can see that he wants to play for Newcastle, and hopefully we do, because even if we sign him on loan next season, it can only help him as a football player, because the more minutes he gets, the better he's going to come, and he needs to start next week. And a great finish today. And then Andy Carroll came on for the last 20 seconds, but it doesn't really matter, he's got his 35 grand for coming on as a substitute. Player ratings done, boys. What a massive 3 points that is for Newcastle United. We go next week against Liverpool, and it will be a tough game. Obviously, we don't have a good record at Anfield, so it will be an interesting one, but them 3 points are massive considering our next 4 games. Them next 4 games are going to be massive for Newcastle United, obviously against the biggest teams possible. Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. No, Leicester, Arsenal, sorry. So we've got some massive games coming up, and it's going to be an interesting one. So them 3 points are absolutely massive considering we've got them games coming up. But lads, that's the end of the player ratings. Come on, boys. Skin fades are here, the pubs are open, and mags are getting wins. Come on.